Here at Buffer Festival Backstage with Shawn Kallet from BEN, which stands for
the Branded Entertainment Network. So I head up global influencer sales for BEN. BEN is privately owned by Bill Gates, and we empower brands to connect with consumers through entertainment. We specialize in integration in all kinds of entertainment. Along with influencers, we do Hollywood productions, TV, OTT, streaming, music videos, celebrity endorsements.
So one of the things I talk about a lot online is influencer marketing. And sometimes I go on rants about how brands, do these one-off relationships, right? And I think that's the wrong approach. What you should do is find people at different tiers that you can actually partner with to have an ongoing relationship. And so what I look at is like developing a development deal, essentially, where they're going to do several things for your brand or your portfolio of brands over time and all types of content, not just a one-off. And I think because when they're invested like that and the brand shows they're invested, it gives them the opportunity to actually be a lot more authentic, right? So I'd love to hear your sort of perspective and point of view on one-offs versus the different tiers of influencers and how you guys see in the marketplace of how brands are doing it.
Sure. And let me start by saying I agree with your approach in a lot of ways.
I want an argument. Come on.
Well, where we differ, I'll tell you where we differ is, you don't just start out a relationship with a creator on a long-term deal, right? I think a lot of brands know that they want to be in influencer marketing now. Yep. They see that it works. They see what brands like Marriott and others have done, but they have the big question of how do we get there, right? And what we do at BEN is we develop campaigns where we represent brands, we don't represent creators. And what we look to do is put together campaigns that have a hybrid approach of talent, like you illustrate. And I think of it like you're building a team, right? And when you're building any team, you have your stars, you have your bench players, and you have your role players, right? And with influencers, when you do a campaign, we don't say go work with any one individual influencer. We say to brands, we're going to help you discover talent, get creative alignment, manage the contract, arrange distribution, and then measure the results. And from measuring those results, and using creators big and small, you start to see like where's the best engagement, who's driving their audience to take the right actions, and from that you start to identify, okay, who are the stars that I want to go into a longer term arrangement with, while understanding also like who are the role players that when you're not just doing a branding campaign but you have a specific initiative. This is a big group of creators that have an affinity for your brand, that are passionate about working with you, and that have shown that their audience will respond, and you tap them for marketing initiatives, while also constantly bringing new creators into the mix on that bench so that you're developing your stars of tomorrow.
So, within influencer marketing, there's so many different types, right? I'm an influencer on Instagram, here's the, my tea bag, my weight loss, whatever it is, all the way to you're going to partner with someone to create something original. In the middle, there's integration. So what do you guys work on, and where do you see sort of the most success in that whole mix? Or should it be an overall mix of all those types?
Well, I think influencers fit all throughout the funnel for marketers, right? There's awareness campaigns, consideration, conversion, all the way to advocacy. And I think what you're talking about, what we agree on is, those advocates that are really going to help bring your brand forward to their audience and bring new audiences to your brand. But what we do with brands, especially for first campaigns, is we look to say, okay, what's the message or the product that you want to get out there? And is it an awareness campaign, is it a consideration campaign, or is it a conversion campaign? And we go and we activate influencers at scale. And we do it very efficiently because of the way we work with our brand partners and the way we work with influencers. We're constantly in the market with influencers, and they know working with BEN means that they're going to have a seamless process because of how we educate our brand partners on it. So it actually really depends on the platform. Getting back to your earlier point, on YouTube now, the way the algorithms have changed over time, doing big, long, dedicated videos may not work if that's not what a creator does, right? So, but having the creator do what they do authentically every day and then bring your brand into it in a way that's relevant and they can talk about as a use case or showing their audience the features and benefits through storytelling, that's where we try and focus our brand partners and our creators to say, like, this doesn't have to be a commercial. In fact, it can't be a commercial if you want it to succeed.
I want to highlight one of the things you talked about just now that is super important. I think one of the most important things is that whatever type of content a brand gets into, right, whether it's original, driven by influencer, is they understand the purpose of it.
Yeah.
To your point, is it brand awareness? Is it just to change perception? Is it actually to drive conversion, to drive sales, right? Because I find that, you know, this is like the shiny object everyone likes to chase, and it's cool and it can absolutely work, but one of the biggest reasons it fails is because they don't know why they're doing it or what the purpose is, right? And then you don't know how to measure it and so on.
Yeah, so like I was saying, you know, when we work with brands, we try and focus on like what's the business outcome that influencers can realistically be expected to achieve, right? Because as I'm sure you've seen too many times, sometimes brands just think of influencers as a silver bullet. Right? Like oh, they can do anything and everything and it'll just be great. And then when it doesn't completely wipe store shelves clean of their product, they think that the influencer program failed. And that's not fair to the influencer, that's not fair to the brand. You know, we try and say, okay, is this a call to action to drive people in store? Great, we have tactics for that. Is this something where we want to move an audience online? Awesome. Influencers are the best vehicle to move their audience to a brand property, right? So really focusing on those things as the outcomes rather than just likes and views, especially on platforms like Instagram, where, you know, we've all read about and seen like the hacks for growth on Instagram. It's really easy to buy a big following or, you know, get it in with a group of influencers that are going to drive up engagement, and it's kind of shallow engagement.
So what are some just like recent projects that you guys have done that you're like proud of and have really changed the game in a sense?
Great questions. We partnered Devon Supertramp, Rocket Jump, and Corridor Digital with Ubisoft for Tom Clancy's The Division.
Okay.
And it won Digidiz Multi-Platform Campaign Award because what we did was Corridor Digital, as producers, really embedded with the game developers to understand the story. And they led the production of videos on each of the influencers' channels that were the origin story of a character in the game. And each of those characters came together in a 4th video on Ubisoft's channel. And then they turned the entire 4-video series into a 30-minute short on Amazon Prime. And that even drove engagement in the game, because in the game, they created digital outfits that each of the characters from the videos wore. And there were 150,000 downloads of those outfits in the game.
It's one of those things, like if you're gonna do that, right, how do you think multi-platform, multi-screen, and so that no one piece of content has a dead end?
Exactly.
Right? It all connects, and you're engaging all types of consumers across those different devices.
And that was really the result of, you know, we've been working with Ubisoft for years, and we've partnered them with Devon and with Corridor multiple times. And, you know, it started from that initial campaign approach of working with a variety of creators to identify who are the ones that are really going to make your brand shine.
Cool. All right. Well, where can brands go to find out more?
Yeah, go check out ben.productplacement.com, Branded Entertainment Network on LinkedIn.
Nice.
You know, they can certainly find us. And again, it's not just influencers, but all across the entertainment universe. You know, we're helping brands tell stories with creators.
Movies, TV, everything, right?
Movies.
Across the whole spectrum.
Yep.
Cool. All right, we're going to get back to Buffer Festival and enjoy the day. Thanks for sitting down with me.
All right. Thank you.